So what's going on, guys? So what's going on, guys? Yeah, so it looks like we're in this range a bit here. Looks okay, but we had this trade here, so basically off our trade. Yeah, so it looks like we're in this range a bit here. Just off this fair value gap there. So we had a limit buy. So this was our trade this morning. So we had a limit buy around 512, looking towards that 530, and our stop loss was at 5,000. Just put it there. So that was our trade this morning. So we didn't have the reaction I wanted to. So off this, we had an okay reaction off this green candle here, as you can see. Just delete that. This green candle here. So a nice reaction off that, but it kind of just collapsed after that. Took the liquidity, and then came back up again. But it's come to the bottom of the range now. So I think it's going to be trading in this range until it breaks. But we'll see. We'll see. Yes, Dav. Yes, people. How's it going? I'm also in this Bitcoin trade. If anyone is still in, so it's not looking too bad, to be fair. Not looking too bad. I think with big collapses like this, what you normally see is, so if you go scroll on the daily time frame, so it literally the same as here. So we have um a daily waterfall basically, and then a chill off period where we're climbing a little bit up to take some liquidity. It's like a rising wedge. It's called. It's quite a bearish pattern. So I just draw this out for you for a bit more explanation. So it's a bit like that, and like that. So it's a bear flag basically. It's like an upside down flag. Um, if I was to draw a flag like that, so it's like an upside down flag, and they're quite bearish patterns. So obviously it broke that, came to retest it, and then fell down. So I'm expecting it to do the same sort of thing again. Um, Normally you just don't get like a V-shaped recovery unless it's the drop's been manipulated. If it's been manipulated, So say if we go all the way back to, let's say COVID, so 2019. So like this was like a V-shaped recovery because it was manipulation, because it was COVID, it was just panic selling. But normally, if you get a drawdown like this, you'll consolidate a bit before going higher. It takes some time. So that was on the weekly. So go back on the daily. So I'm expecting it like here to come down, bounces up. So it's bounced up like here, and then come back down again to the bottom where the low is really, and just mess around here for a bit, and then we'll see what happens. It's probably going to want to fill these fair value gaps at some point, but that could be a way later date, maybe in the summer, maybe towards May, June. But what happens normally in Bitcoin cycles and crypto cycles, after these big drawdowns, a lot of people are either scared, one, to get in the market, or they're just not, like, no one's got the money to put in it because they've either lost the money, or you'll get like big hedge funders, and they'll be waiting maybe to go a bit lower, or they'll wait for confirmations for price to go sideways at the bottom for a long time, and then they'll start buying. So no one kind of buys at these stages, so that's why you see it just chopping it, and it'll be quite slow, I would have thought, for the next few months, because no one will be wanting to buy it or anything. On the other hand, I'm buying it. I'm buying Bitcoin every month. So I buy. Normally, I've just been buying 100 quid a month at the moment, but on this drop here, I bought an extra 500 quid on this drop. So this month I've bought 600. So when it's like lower down, I'm going to take the opportunity to buy obviously a bit more. But the reason why I did that, why I buy £100 a month, is I worked out the first time I bought Bitcoin. I found out about it in, when was it? So it was 2000, and so it was this rally here, 2017, 2018. And I started buying around this level here. I wasn't buying Bitcoin. I think I was buying Chainlink, if anyone knows of Chainlink. Um, I'll show you the coin in a minute. And I was just buying and buying, and nothing happened, for a big period of time, because this is what you call the bear market. So this is what I mean, where you get this big drawdown and not much money's in the market, so it just goes sideways until the big players start to buy in again. And then if I basically, I worked out, if I started buying £100 of Bitcoin every month from this, around this area here, from these next, like, what, 2019, 2020, right now, or at the top, just from 100 quid a month, I'd have like a few 100,000 just from like buying 100 quid a month. So, like, anyone can spare 100 quid a month to buy Bitcoin, so why not just do it? I always recommend to dollar cost average, really, because it's the best way you're gonna get the entry over time. Like, I've bought now, so I've been doing this for the last year and a half, buying 100 quid a month. So my average entry is probably around this level, actually. Probably around, maybe a bit lower. I think it's around, maybe around 50k, I would have thought, because I would have been buying all the way, all the way up here. And I've also bought here, and I've also bought the top. But like I said, it doesn't matter, because you're looking for the long-term view. In 10 years' time, you're going to be looking, what, Bitcoin's going to be, what, 500k, maybe, maybe more, to like a million. So it's the best return on investment you can get. Nothing else is going to give you that. So, but yeah, that's my rant about Bitcoin longer term, anyway. But yeah, regards to this trade, I think it does look good. It's just one of them where I think just got to be a bit patient. It's broke the 200 MA, so I use these MAs, EMAs. So the 200 is the dark blue one. So I feel like, so once it breaks that, and the RSI's flip, then, like, once they all flip over here, that means it turns into a bearish trend. So then that means the dark blue line would be at the top, if it was a bear market or if it was a bull market. Like I'll show you. So you got the blue line at the top. So that's your 20 EMA, your 100, your 15, your 20. So that's showing you it's a bearish market. It's going to continue being bearish until it crosses over. I can show you now. So there you go. So there's the cross, you see. So it was bullish here because you got your 200 at the bottom, then your 100, then your 50, then your 20, and then they cross over, and it's basically just giving the indicator of saying, okay, we're going to be in a bear market now, until it crosses back over. Or it could just go sideways like here. So it's going sideways at the moment, and then I'm expecting this to cross back over now, and then this come a bit lower, or this come to the bottom. So that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Sorry, just was a bit of a rant, really. I'm so hopefully we'll get some gold longs on here on the live. So looking on the 5-minute chart, but got nothing yet. Trading gold, it's all about patience. Trading any asset, really, it's all about patience and seeing that moment and waiting for a price to come to you, really. You know, the market doesn't care if you're long or short; it's going to do its thing. But all we can do is try try and master the skill and to see where it's going to go. But yeah, like here with the EMAs, we're still bullish, you see. So until these flip, I'm gonna still be buying. They are starting to cross a bit, so we will see. But it's bouncing on this 20 EMA at the moment on the 5-minute. Should go on the higher time frames, really. So on the higher time frames, on the 15-minute we've crossed, so we've turned bullish on the 15-minute. So that's why I'm looking for buys. I always look on the higher time frames to start the day to know where the bias is, because that's going to give that bit more edge of your trades working out, because you want to go with the trend, right? You definitely want to go with the trend. I'm looking at this longer term. I'm looking at this W reversal here. Really, really nice W reversal. Which go on. Where's path? There we go. So it's like that. Nice W reversal. Higher low. And then I'm looking really for it to break this region here. It can break that region there, and go back up to the upside. So something like that, to come back to retest and test the highs. Something a bit like that. But yeah, this area here is going to be quite strong. So if we do get past here, your W reversal is confirmed, and you're probably going to get a big rally up. And it's going to happen probably quite fast, I would have thought. But that's my longer term thoughts. But yeah, always look at the longer time frames to get that where that trend's going. It's going to be in your favour. It's going to help, in the longer term. But yeah, at the moment we're just looks like it's bottoming out. So we're looking probably it's going to go to the top of the range, and then we're going to see if it makes a nice fair value gap or something, or an order block for it to come back down, and then hopefully we'll get a trade then. Hopefully we get a nice trade, but at the moment it's quite slow. It's 11 o'clock. It'll probably pick up within the hour. The US start to wake up in different states, so the money starts to flow in. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, so if you wanna request any charts or anything, I can go through them for you. Just pop them in the chat below, and I will give you a rundown of that chart or asset, and see what it's doing. So yeah, the whole of crypto it's very, very oversold. Yeah. Ethereum's kind of doing the same thing. We've got this resistance, it's this support is broke, it's dipped below it, come back to retest it. It's probably going to want to go sideways so these EMAs can catch up. See, these EMAs are crossed here, so it's going to be a bearish market on the altcoins as well, which is going to be a tough time for a lot of people. I got out my altcoins a long time ago, so I was a big buyer in Solana. I think I bought around $45. So bought it really nice entry on it, $45 around here, and I sold it around where I said I sold it around 190, I think. So I didn't get the right top, but you know, if I would have kept in it now, I'd be a bit gutted. I would have given away a lot of money. But I will be buying this. I'm looking to buy a lot here around this 50 zone. That's why I've got it marked out. If you can get to that 50 zone, you know, that's what. It's a 4x to the top. Yeah, like a 4x on your money. That'd be nice. Let's go back on gold. Let's go back on gold. Do you have? We'll go for the long term on gold. I was saying if you're not in my Telegram, I will send a link in the chat. But basically, what I was saying in the Telegram was, if you go on the weekly chart, we're gonna see this peak. The more into the rally you go, say over this few years of period of gold will be going up, the more vertical you get, the more sharper the corrections are going to be, and the later the stage is going to be, like the rally's going to be over. So like normally towards that end stage, you know, you're going to see big liquidation hunts, like these big wicks. Like if you zoom on the weekly now, we've had a big wick to the upside, a big wick to the downside. So yeah, it's just one of them. Can I do any forex? You want me to do forex? Yeah. Okay. What pairs? Just pop in what pairs, mate, and then I can go through some. I do trade forex, but there's got to be a good setup. It's got to be a good setup, and let me know what time frame and what pair, and then we can go through. We can go through them for you. Just do us a favor, guys, and just pop us a like on the live. Help me out a lot. So this is my first live so far. So I'm just testing it out for now. The quality is probably not going to be very good, but I'm going to invest in some, you know, a mic and some better streaming equipment and different things, so these videos can, you know, become better and better really, and help you guys understand the markets. Hopefully, help you out for free, and that's the plan. So you don't have to, you know, pay for any course, or because you don't want to do that. You know, you'd rather put the money putting into the market and rather buying a course, right? You'd rather put that into the market and learn with your own money for free. I learned for free on YouTube. You know, I didn't pay any money. I got scammed a few times, but I didn't pay for any courses. But I did get scammed a few times. But I think that is just the market when you get into the market. Pound yen and pound CAD, yeah, sound. So pound yen will go on. So what time frame do you want me to go over there, mate? I don't know what you trade. So firstly, we'll look at the daily. So I haven't looked at these charts in a long time. So yeah, these are the last time I looked at these charts in October. So yeah, so we're in a nice uptrend on the daily. We are struggling to get past this top. I can see here we're forming a bit of a top there. So what I'll do is mark the high and mark the low of them on daily candles. Let's go into the 4 hour. Yeah, so looks like we're making a bit of a range here. So let's adjust them candles, that bottom range there, that bottom line. So adjust it to there. So it's bouncing off this bottom range here, on this top range. So not got through yet, but range trading is really good. Like I've always range trade because like 80% of the time the market will range, and then 20% of the time you'll go on these rallies up or on the rally down. So you might as well trade what the market's doing the most of, right? Because then it gives you more opportunities. It's just finding that the best way to get in. So like for the likes of now, you we could short that if it came into this area on the 4 hour. Came back to this 4 hour, probably be a good for shorts. But the only reason why I wouldn't short it because the long term on the daily is in an uptrend. So straight away it's going to be kind of against you. So you want to kind of look for longs. So if you go on the lower time frames, so would you swing trade this currency? I would, yeah, I would swing trade it. Um, I most likely with swing trading and in day trading, and you got scalping, right? So I'd rather scalp gold, get in and out of gold because the price action lets you do that. And then with the likes of crypto, I'd swing trade because sometimes it does take a bit to play out, and it's just a way how that market is. On forex, I'd probably say it's a bit of a more of a day trading market. You could scalp it though as well. So I wouldn't really. I don't know. You can swing trade it, but I I probably wouldn't have the patience to swing trade forex. I think it would take a few days to play out, or maybe a week. But then I think you can get more opportunities within that time frame to make more money. You know, because if a swing trade goes wrong, or say you hit a stop loss, not go wrong, but hit a stop loss, then you got to wait the next week, and you've had all that time. I'd rather day trade it or swing trade it, in my opinion. I was just showing you the higher time frame charts. I like to go on the bias of the higher time frames, but enter on the lower time frames and trade on the lower time frames. So, yeah, 1 hour's choppy. The 15-minute looks the same, really choppy. Looks oversold in the RSI. Nothing really that's pointing at me. So, this would have been a good trade. Um, this would have been a really good trade here. So if I was scalping, so say if this was gold now, this is what I'd be looking for. So I'd be looking for basically, so we've made this fair value gap. So we've made that fair value gap and marked that green. And then we would, so we'd wait for the top to be in. So see these few red candles, and then okay, that is the fair value gap. We'd get the fib tool, and we'd take it from the bottom to the top where it started to retrace, and we can see it's called the OME zone, this zone here. So between the 618 and the 786, it's called the OME zone, and it reacts as quite a strong resistance. A lot of orders get filled there. So you get in the imbalance in price where orders haven't been able to be filled because prices moved up too fast. Then you got the OME zone, which price normally comes back to around in between this level. So if it comes past the fair value gap, it's going to wick into this level anyway. And then you've also got this order block. So that red candle there is the order block. So I'm going to mark the other one. Mark that and mark the OME blue. Mark this order block orange, and then the fair value green, right? So you can see how they're all overlapping each other. So this is when I like to trade. This is like when like a perfect setup comes. You want the fair value gap to be as low as possible towards that where the price turned around really. So then your stop loss is going to be a lot shorter. So my entry would be in the middle of this fair value gap. My stop loss would be somewhere around here, just below this low, and then I only target then this these top of the wicks really. So yes, the risk to reward's not, it's not even a 1-to-1, but you're more likely to get an 80 to 85% win rate and hit them a lot more often than hit maybe once now and again, but you've got like a 1 to 2. So that's why I like to trade like this. I was so when I started first trading, I was always stuck on like, oh, it's got to be a 1 to 2, it's got to be a 1 to 3. Yes, it's great if the opportunity arises and you can get them 1 to 2 and 1 to 3s, but I started to see that a lot of professional traders were do their setups were like this, so they'd have like a big stop loss and then a shorter take profit. You can always take 75% of this take profit and let the rest run and bring this to break even. The way this works well, because you've got all this room to play around with, and you've got these three strong levels areas that most likely you're going to have a reaction off anyway. So that's why I trade like that, and I feel like it works in pretty much every market. It do, I've tried it in crypto, but it's one of them really. Crypto, it moves because it moves so aggressively. It doesn't seem to fill like any gaps or come back to order blocks, or it will do, but in like to time to come. And you've got to wait for that, and you might have to wait like a day, and that's why I swing trade it. But yeah, forex you can do this. So that I would have had that trade basically this morning. So 9 o'clock. That's what I would have took if I would have seen this on the chart on pound JAP. So it would usually come back into, yeah. That's it, mate. Yeah, it would usually come back into this area to fill. I'll get you another example. So that's what I'd look at really. So we haven't made any other gaps. So say if we get, I don't know, a big push up and make a big gap, and you've got an order block as well. I like to see all three of them form together, and that makes it strong. Like a lot of people do just go off fair value gaps, but it doesn't make it as strong, and that's when you get, it'll just tank through it. And you're trading a lot more riskier there. Same as here. So there's your fair value gap. There's your order block, and then your OME zone. zone would be here. So again, there's your 3. It wicks into it and then goes, and you target that high. So it does work on forex pretty well. But yeah, nothing I see that's gonna be really happening on this pair yet. Probably gonna come up though. Probably is gonna come up. And then pound. What did you want to go on? Pound CAD. So let's have a look at pound CAD for you. So again, we start from the daily. Okay, let's delete all this shit that I've got drawn on here. So let's go into the daily. So we're oversold in the RSI on the daily. Let's mark out. Let's mark out the highs. So that's your high. And so far, these are your lows. That's your low for the week, for last week, sorry. So I just go into focus in these two levels at the moment. You could zoom out and be like, okay, that's a ridiculous range. It's been ranging, price has been ranging for since March last year. So it's been ranging nearly for like a year. So you can take advantage of that a lot. So you go on the lower time frames. So at the moment on the 4 hour we're in a downtrend. So just remember that we're in a downtrend. So it would you'd likely to be on sells now, really. On the 1 hour we are just doing fuck all. And then on the 15, in the smaller range here, in the small area range. So it depends what time frame you trade really. That fib retracement will be getting used today. Yeah, mate, give it a go. Give that fib retracement a go. So like for instance here now on the 15, here's another example. So so we've come up, so we're at the bottom of the range on the 15 minute, this little range. We're expecting price to come back to the top of the range because that's what it's been doing, right? So we can always we can only predict what's happened before, so we can always only go off that, really, can't we? So, okay, we've had a nice push up and we've made this fair value gap, right? So we've made that fair value gap, mark that green, and then we've got this OME zone. So we draw that to there, because ignore this now, because these wicks have already come into it, so your trade's already gone. So you'd mark it from this high here. So there's your OME zone. So then you've got your fair value gap, and then you've got your order block then at the bottom here. That's your order block, and I'll mark out the OME zone, which is these in between here. Mark that blue. So there's your zones. So you can see, so I would have put my, for example now, I would have put my entry here. So we would have wicked. So I would have targeted on this. It's a bit different on this because we haven't seen this run up before we've come in. So, but we know we're in a range. So we can target the highs of the range, or just below it. And we'd put a stop loss, probably put it like that. Probably target 1-to-1 on this. You could easily. You want to make sure you've got a big space below that order block, because you can get wicks through and you don't want to get wicked out and to go in your favor. It's just a nightmare. So yeah, don't be scared to put a big stop loss, basically, because it's going to save you a lot of liquidity grabs, and it's going to save you that getting wicked out and then going to your TP, which happens quite a lot to most beginners. So you can see we wicked into this zone, so we got tagged in there, and we would have basically would have gone up straight to TP. That was a good example. So a lot of the times we don't reach these zones, we just hit their value gap. But when, like, so this wick here, this reached the OME zone, just tagged it. But it's good to have that support below, because if it's not as strong like this, then it's going to hit these zones and then bounce off that. That's what I found. So yeah, that's my take on pound CAD, mate. That's my take on pound CAD. So really, just trade the range until the range breaks. You can just trade it like this, and that's where you get the entries. We'll go back on gold, see what's going on. Like I said, I mostly just trade gold. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to come up to now, to like the same again, like pound CAD, really. We're in this range on the 5 minute, so we can only expect this price now to come back up to the top of the range, right? But we want to get an entry first, so we're looking for the fair value up to be made. There's the order block. So if this makes a fair value gap now, there's your order block. And then we'll see if we get an OME zone, and then we could then enter in the middle of this fair value gap if it's made, and then we'll target the highs. And that's how I trade, and it works pretty well. If anyone else has got any more questions, yeah, feel free to ask. But at the moment, it's just a waiting game. It's just a waiting game. We've got 5 minutes left on this candle, so if it doesn't close this gap, I'm going to mark it out anyway. Mark it out. It's probably, it could fill it, like, but we're going to mark it out anyway. We're going to mark it out anyway. And there's your order block. Which order? Yeah. And then we'll wait to see when price stops to come back into this level. If the fair value gap is obviously made. If it's made. Check in with the Telegram. so it looks like it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna fill this. It's not gonna make a fair value, is it? I don't really like. I know we get small ones. I prefer a bigger gap. Like this really. Like we ended off this, but obviously we got took out of this one. Show you an example. Show you an example. Like that's a great fair value gap right there. Whipped into the middle of it and just went. With your order box below. Fantastic setup. Absolutely fantastic. But as you know, trading is literally just a waiting game. That's all it is. Right. So I was going to enter this trade now. So they're just fair value. They're just above. Going to want to put your stop probably below the order block. Good amount. And then we'll see. We could probably target the highs. Target the highs, but we'll ladder out. So we'll ladder out if it comes back. Sometimes it doesn't. So what that would be a buy limit at say 4,999 4,999. The stop loss is 4,986, and then we'll put a TP1 at that level there. A TP1 at 506. We'll put a TP2 at the mid range at 512, and then on this one, because we've got a range high, we're going to have a TP3. We have a TP3 at 530. Okay, I'm going to put that in the chat for you guys, and I'm going to enter it myself. Enter it myself now. So price at 499. 486. 496. Take profit first. Take profit is 506. Take profit 12. Cool. Ooh, Bitcoin trade's going really well. Bitcoin trade's looking nice. Looking nice. So 4. I've got a few accounts, you see, so I've got to enter it on all the accounts. It's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. I've got like 4 accounts that I trade on just to diversify a little bit. 1 second, guys. Take profit. Price is moving up nice now. So when you enter these, when you have like different TPs, you can't enter it as one trade and then take, if you're active, you can gradually take it off when you hit your TPs, or you can set 3 different limits. Um, it depends if you're watching it. I set like all one trade and then take it off gradually because obviously I'm watching it, so I find it easier. Okay, oh, they're all set now. They're all set. Sorry, mate. How do I use RSI? How do you use the RSI and what does it tell you? Basically, the RSI is at the bottom. It's basically just saying that when it's at the top, price is overbought. Basically, there's a chance that the buyers are getting a bit tired, so it might want to retrace a little bit if it's an uptrend to come back up again, and then vice versa. If it's at the bottom, it's kind of saying that okay, price is a bit tired now and needs to come up a little bit to retrace. It's just an indicator. You can't base. I wouldn't base trades off it because it's just gonna like you could soon you get to the bottom you could put a buy on, but that would have been here and it's come down another fucking like what 100 pips or whatever. So it's not gonna. You can't really trade off it, but it's just like it's giving you that another confirmation onto your trade maybe. Um, I just like to use it. It's just personal preference. Personal preference. Let's see if we can get this trade live now. It'd be good. Trading this live. Let's see. The link. There's a link to the video. It's better. Like I said, I'm new to this YouTube shit, so you're gonna have to bear with me on it. But come on, gold. Let's tag us in. Give us a nice trade. Come on. Is it gonna tag us in? I've had so many trades. Like last week, I had so many trades where it like this really. It missed by like one of them missed by like 20 cents, like one pip or something like 2 pips even, like just like stupid shit like that, and then it would just go straight to TP, and I'm just like, oh my god. But it happens. Like exactly just what just happened basically. It could have tagged us in and we could have started going up, but it's patience as well because this price action could come all the way back up to here, and then come back to fill this. So it depends. You just got to be patient. That's all trading is. Just be patient, and you'll get the right entry in the end, and it'll pay off. It'll pay off. Big confluence. Yeah, confluence, mate. just a confluence. So basically, and to add to these confluences here, the RSI and the order block and the fib, right? But I don't really go off it too much. It's more, to be honest, I use it more in crypto or like investing, because like for instance, right? So if we go onto Solana here, like for an investment purpose now, you could say, okay, RSI's been at the bottom, came up a bit on the weekly, and now it's at the bottom again. I'd wait for it to probably bottom line again, something a bit like here, and then buy. And you could have bought, held it for 3 weeks and made, what, 100%. You put 10 grand in that, you make 10 grand in 3 weeks. And I like doing that. It's a good way to make money. It's got to be a bit more patient, obviously. You can call it a swing trade, or an investment. I think it's only an investment if you hold it for a certain amount of months. It's classed as, so it is a swing trade, but it's spot, so no leverage. I just buy it, to buy the asset. So, like I said, I'm looking for this to come to 50. So that time that will be bottomed out. I'm going to be buying like a ton of Solana, and then hold it hopefully to the top again. That's going to be a 4x. So 10 grand in, you could put a grand in, 4 grand, 5 grand, you get back. You get 50 grand back off 10. If you got more, sound, go for it. You know. But yeah, that's what I'm doing anyway. Not obviously not financial advice, but I've been doing it for last good few years, and it's been working out pretty well. Are we in yet? So we're still waiting to get tagged in. Sometimes they don't get filled, and it just runs without us. But we just look for the next opportunity. There's no rush. There's always another trade, right? Especially when you're scalping. Like there's always another trade. You probably, if you really wanted to, you could probably get 10 trades in a day, on a good day. And you could probably get, with this strategy, I reckon you probably get 8 wins. On a good day. It depends how the market's behaving. Uh, 15 then. Yes, on the 15 as well, which I like to see. We've also made a fair value gap as well on the 15. So the 15 and the 5 in the same position. So it makes it even stronger, which I like to see a lot. We're still in this range, just consolidating after this rally up. Asia had a big pump as always, big gap made. There's no shock there. If you've got any more questions, anyone got any questions, just feel free to pop them in the chat. See, longer term, our Bitcoin trade is looking pretty decent. We want to get past this level here, really. We can get past this level. So I put the trade on here. It like came down straight away. It was really good. I took some profits here, and then it came back up, and I started to add here. I added here, and I added back at entry. So I've added 2 more positions after taking profit, and now obviously they're back in profit again, back where it was nearly. But if you can get past this level, then we should see a nice fall. But we'll see. I think YouTube is a bit delayed. Don't know how delayed it is. Just let me know. I think is it like 10 seconds maybe? I think that 5-10 seconds delayed maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, we're just waiting to get tagged on. Tagged in this gold. It's probably because I'm doing it live now. It's going to go without us, right? But we've got to be patient. Let it tag us in. I've got for lot sizes on gold at the moment. I'm using 0. Overall 0. In between 0.15, 0.20. On one account, on the smaller accounts I'm using it 0.5, 0.05. But it depends on your account size and depends on your risk, really. It depends on your risk. Obviously, the lower the account size you've got, say if you've got like a grand account, you're gonna have to risk more. it just is what it is. Like compared to a 10 grand account, like a 10 grand account, you could risk 100 quid to make 100 quid or 200 quid, and you could probably do the same on a grand account, right? Because if you risk what 1% on a grand account, you're only risking a tenner to make 20 quid. It's not going to grow, is it? Well, it will, but it take a lot of time. So just to get you going, you could you could risk 5%, maybe risk 5% on a grand. So risking 50 quid to make 50 quid, it soon add up like on every trade this is. So say if you get four wins in a row, you're on 1,200. You know, end of the week you can end up doubling your account in a week by just doing that. It's quite possible if you have a good week. And I think if you risk 5% on a grand account, and you are being sensible and you're trading sensible, you shouldn't blow it, man. You shouldn't blow it. You should be able to grow it pretty nice, pretty nice. Like on this, like this risk to reward now. So this is like a 1 to 2.5, but my other trade was like, like a 0.50. So it was like a negative risk to reward. Um, so it depends on the trade. It does depend on the trade. Get a nice pump up now. To be honest, this trade we could go back all the way to the top of the range and then come back down target and then go back up to the range. It could be that long, but we'll wait and see. The RSI is showing us that we're oversold, so there is a potential we could come back down, but we'll see. 15 minute looks quite bullish, to be fair. Yeah, the 15 minute looks quite bullish. Especially 1 minute till closes above this 20 EMA, it might go. But like I said on the 15, it's not a great fair value gap because it is small. I would prefer a lot bigger one, but we'll have to see where this ends to draw. We can't draw the fib yet because we need to see where price tops out to start to come back down, and then we can draw the fib from the bottom to the top. We can't draw it yet because it's not it's not there. So we're just gonna have to wait. If anyone wants any more requests, I can chart it. If anyone's looking at any forex pairs or silver, maybe I can have a look at silver. Let's have a look. Let's go zoom out. Zoom out. So it's that was the Asia session. So we made a CME gap. It didn't quite fill it. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back down and fills this gap here. Price likes to fill CME gaps. So basically, the price over the weekend has gone here, has opened on a Sunday higher than it was on the end of the Friday, which makes a gap, and they normally get filled. Like 9 times out of 10, they'll get filled. So it's on the 4 hour. It is bearish still. It's way more bearish than gold. Trading a lot more different now. Yeah, so it needs to fill this gap really. Does need to fill this gap on the 1 hour. Look, like coming back to the RSI, Dove, I think Dovan. Sorry, yeah, Dovan. You asked about the RSI, right? Well, if you look at it here, you can't trade off it because it does stay at the top for ages, but it's like I said, it's just a confluence. Like you can't be like at the top and say, oh, I'm gonna short it because you're just gonna get absolutely rinsed. It's not gonna work. 15 minute looks alright. 15 minute looks alright. Bounce on the RSIs. Yeah. Still waiting for this trade, man. It's just a patience game. Just a patience game. It's only you. It's only one person chatting to me. Anyone else? No. No one want to know anything. Yeah, exactly that, mate. Yeah, just to add to the other confluences, exactly that. It's just one of it. It just helps. It gives you that extra, say confidence, really. You might get more confident on the trade because you've got loads more things joining up and different things. That's what indicators are for, aren't they? But how's your trading going anyway? How are you getting on? So how did you get on last week? Um, we had because we had a I had a really good week last week. Um, we had a few days that didn't have any losses. We had like four trades and we had four wins, 2 days. That was pretty good. But how did you get on? Did you follow them trades or have you done your own or let me know? Hopefully it comes down. Hopefully it comes down. I think about doing these lives most days. I know a lot of people work like a 9 to 5 and different things, but I can't do it on the weekends. I can do it on Bitcoin, but it doesn't really move. Like I said, I swing trade it, so it's harder to do. I could try a scalping session, right? If I try a scalping session maybe next weekend on Bitcoin on the weekend, and then you can all watch if you got a bit of free time. See what we can do. Done a mix of my own, yours, finished. Nice. 355 up. Nice. Are you trading a funded account then, or a live account? It's 355 up over 3 days. That's really good. It's really good. Like if you think like if you can make an extra few hundred quid a week, like say if you could do that every week, like what 350 quid every week, that's an extra 1,400, 1,500, say a month, like on top of your wage as well. That's you're booming. Funded, nice one. I think funded is good to start. If you're starting off, it's good. It's one of them. It's good to start off with sometimes, but also you can get rinsed on them if you try and rush them. A lot of people will just try rush them and they want to get a payout right. So it's a 50-50 really. It depends on the person. I found it that I was better trading live when I started, when I was learning, with like a few hundred quid. And now I've started to do a funded. Because I didn't want to waste my money on funded accounts, like blowing them and different things. But yeah, used used the lot sizes. Yeah, that's good. What size funded account you got, mate? I have got a funded. I've got 50k funded with what's it called? Aqua. So I'm probably hoping to get a payout by the end of the month from then. And then if I get a payout and everything like that, then um, I'd recommend them. But I can't. I can recommend them, but I can't really recommend them yet because I haven't had a payout, right? So it is one of them. But I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys know. They've got a good website. You know, got a good customer support team. So it can't be bad. 10k. Oh, nice on Aqua. Yeah. 10k on Aqua. That's pretty good. Yeah, so you want to be risking. So on a funded, I'd say you wouldn't want to risk 1% like you would on a live. You probably want to risk a lot, probably 0.5%, maybe less. So 0.5% each trade, because what you'll probably get. It depends on what you picked, but you'll get is it 3% daily loss allowance, and then max daily loss is 5. Is it? Or I could be wrong there. Could be a bit more, but um, yeah, That's good. That's good. Gold's pumping, man. Gold's pumping. It would have been nice if it tagged us in here, right? We'd been flying right now. We'd have hit TP2. But it's just one of them. Just gotta wait it out. Just gotta wait it out. Yeah. Sometimes prices get respected off mid ranges. So like if you find the mid range of where it's trading into, so so where it is now basically. So where I put my TP2, that's where I put it there. It does get respected sometimes off that mid range. So we'll just put a line there actually. Put an orange line there. Delete this box. So that's mid range, that orange line. You see where it gets respected off it a few times, you know. It's getting rejected off it so far. See if it can push through. If it doesn't, hopefully we can come back, tag us in, and then go. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me know if you're in this trade. Put a yes and put a like below if you're in this trade. Also help me out and be nice if you could subscribe as well, because I am probably going to be going live most days, so you can follow along my trades. It's quite nice to do it live. You know, I do it in the Telegram, but you know, it's nice to do it live and show everyone what you're doing. Really, everyone gets a bit more of understanding and can learn a bit more, then, can't they? So definitely. Time's it now? So it's 5 to 12 already. Time flies, man. Time flies. Oof, that was a big wick. That was a big wick. Oh my god. That rejection, man. Rejecting off anything higher time frames though? No. Not I can see. Not that I can see. Slow today. On Friday we had like 4 trades in the space of like 2 hours, which is pretty good. They just kept on coming. Like after one TP hit and I was out of trade, you know, another trade was coming up. It was really good. Sometimes you get that, you know. Sometimes you do get that. On the 5, I wonder if it's getting rejected off that trend line there. No, it's nowhere near it yet. That trend line. Don't really often use trend lines. Sometimes if I see price rejecting like that and it's in a downtrend, then I can see, I will draw it to see if it's hitting it. $10K on Aquafunded, yeah, it's good. 10K on Aquafunded is good, man. Once I get a payout on my 50K funded, I'm gonna do buy a 200K account, 200K funded, and you can link them, can't you? So then once you put a trade on one, the trade goes on the other, so it's like automated. And you build it up like that. Once you can start building up your funded accounts. It'll probably take a year, but you can probably build a decent amount over unfunded accounts. So even if you buy like get 500,000 funding, then you're laughing, right? You risk 0.5% or even less. That's you're risking five. Well, no, 2.5 grand. Say 2 grand a trade. Risk 2 grand a trade across all accounts. And say if you like a day like on Friday where 3 out of 3 wins, you're making well, it depends obviously on your risk to reward, but say you're on a 1-to-1, you're making 6k a day. It's not bad, is it? Not bad at all. Copper. I did have a trade in copper later on. I'd still drawn out actually. Um, this breakout here was pretty mad. Came back to retest, but it was just a bit of a liquidation spike. So basically, this spike here was the last day that gold and silver went like pretty mad. Oh, I'm not going to go back on gold, but yeah, it went pretty mad. And then obviously we had that day, didn't we, where everything just crashed. But copper is known for its crashes. We're still getting rejected off this mid zone. It's mid range here. I'm getting rejected off it. Yeah, it's getting rejected. Nice, man. Can see this coming down here. If we close the red candle, let's see if it closes red. Let's see if it closes red. Nice. Nice rejection off that mid range there. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. It's literally rejected off our TP2, right? Come on, come into the zone here. We don't. The thing is, we don't want price to tank into the zone. Really, we want it to come in, like slowly, because if it tanks straight into the zone, it could just fly straight through. Often, if it does tank into zone and tags me in and then jumps back up, I'm probably going to be getting out straight away because I just don't like that sort of price action. But it's just chilling for now. Obviously, some selling pressure there. It's been rejected off here once, came back and then went through. So I'm expecting the same sort of thing here, and then got above it, rejected, got above it, and it made it support then. So it is a respected area. It is a respected area. I'm probably I want to do this live trade, but I've got to go out. But I will be live for US session as well. I'm gonna be live for US session. But I wanted to trade this live, man. I've only had one trade. It was and we hit SL right on today. Mondays are difficult to trade though. Mondays are probably the most difficult to trade, I'd say, because you've got people coming from, obviously it's been the weekend, and you don't get the full price action. You normally don't get any news. Let's have a look if we can get any news. If I just look. Yes, there's no news today, right? But you'll probably see Wednesday, Tuesday there's retail news. Wednesday normally news, unemployment. Thursday there's news. Friday there's news. So it's literally like Monday's normally just the day where price just chills about, um, and you don't get much big moves unless you get like news from wherever, right? Might need to turn your microphone up. Yeah, I can turn it up, mate. I can turn it up. Let me know if that's a bit better. Let me know if it's a bit better. I do need a mic. I do definitely need a mic. Like I said, I'm new to this, so I'm just starting out, right? But let me know if that's any better. Move this a bit closer. That might be better. Let me know, yeah? Cheers, mate. Cheers for letting me know. Nice. Nice one. Miles better. Yeah, you use OBS. OBS? OSB. OSB, yeah. OSB. Or is it OBS? Mate, I don't know. Yeah, OBS. It's coming down, boys. It's coming down. Oh, I think it was gotta come down for me. It's getting rejected, man. It's getting rejected. There's buyers here and the sellers here. It's tight range. But on the 1 minute, we are just 1 minute is not. I don't trade the 1 minute. It's too much noise. Way too much noise. You've got a fair value gap every 10 seconds. Might have to wait a bit longer, yeah. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100% be patient. Friday's hit and miss for me. I think if you can get it good on a Friday, you're laughing. You're getting wins all day long. But if you have if it doesn't go your way, then yeah. I feel like on a Friday, if I have my first trade is a loss, I'm probably just gonna leave the rest of the day. Depends what the market's doing. But if like last Friday was good. We had 3 out of 3 wins. It would have been 4 out of 4, but it didn't wick us in. Like I said, we missed out by like 20 cents. So we would have had 4 out of 4 on Friday. But yeah, like you said, Fridays, they're very news driven. And also Trump likes to speak on Friday, randomly to move the markets, right? And we can't predict that. That's just one of them. What's Bitcoin doing? Nice. See how we get these flags? See how we trend down here, and then we flag out. There's your flag, boom, and then we want this now to come down. So the first level we're looking at, that's 678. Still looking at that 678 level. Oh, fuck. What have we done here? What have we done? There we are. Madwix. That wick. Just pop in the Cody garage. Hey mate, you're down the road from me. I live literally 2 minute walk from there. 2 minute walk. Right, I think I'm gonna wrap this live up and come back in the US because we've got nothing. We've got nothing at all. Yeah, nothing's going on, man. Gonna go get some lunch, I think. So, hmm, nothing even up here, is it? No. Mm. Nice one. Nice one. Off the high street. Off the high street, mate. I didn't know you lived in Cody. Didn't know. I was in the pub last night, watching the Liverpool game. It was good. Good game, to be fair. I don't know if you watched it. Insane game. Yeah, it was good to watch. Good to watch. Come on, Bitcoin. We want that waterfall, man. Nah, it's coming back to 20, you mean, isn't it? Coming back to top 20. City fan. Definitely a good game for you then. I don't support it either, but I just like watching the footy in it. It was just good to watch, like, it's good. It's good. You should let me know. You should come to the pub next time, bro. Let me know. Let me know. That is surely yes. I think this is just gonna fill this. Fill that gap. He does, mate. He definitely does drink there, yeah. I think he's always there, mate. Hi, bro. Yeah, man. Next time, give us a shout. Give us a shout. It's a good pub, to be fair. Good Lion. Right. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna come back around 2 o'clock ish and see what's going on then. Hopefully we get, you know, we're in this trade by then. But if not, we'll trade the US and see what's happening then. Every time he's in the yeah, mate. It doesn't surprise me at all. You know, he, it does not surprise me at all. Yeah, give me a shout next time. 100%. Sweet. Yeah. See you too, mate. Nice one.